Get access and watch your
Unang jumper, walang nahuli ang gusto. PBA basketball, ginalian ng gusto. Shoot, sabay, sigaw. Dribble, tapos hataw. Hiyaw parang lindol. Pastor Peter ni Idol. Sonen ang laban, malupit ang galawan. Sonen ang punch, malakas ang hiyawan. Ang action ay walang hinto. Sa solid na laro. Solid ang laban, malupit ang galawan. Solid ang punch, malakas ang hiyawan. Ang action ay walang hinto. Sa solid na laro. Baba ang depensa, mabilis ang opensa. Tinawag ang play, viraling Big J.
Welcome to the weekend! Isa na namang doubleheader ang hatid namin sa inyo dito sa RPTV. Mula po dito sa Inares Center in Antipolo. It's the 50th season of the PBA. We are in the early goings of the Commissioner's Cup. So early na itong San Miguel Beermen will only be playing their first game dito sa torneyong to after of course being crowned champions anew in the Philippine Cup. Ang Titan Ultra naman still looking for their first win. It's pressure meeting power in the first game of your Saturday doubleheader. Magandang araw po sa inyo. Jot Sulit here together with Coach Ryan Gregorio.
There's an urgency right now, Jot. Lalong-lalo na dito sa Titan. They dropped their first two games. Samantala, nabanggit mo, this is just the first game of San Miguel. But going back to Titan, they lost against Terra Firma by 30 points. And their previous game against Phoenix, 33 naman. So kinakailangan talaga nila magkaroon ng mas magandang performance.
You know, Coach RG, yung dalawang teams pa na tumalo sa Titan by, like you said, an average of 31.5. Those are two of the bottom three teams from the Philippine Cup. So it really hasn't been a good start para sa Giant Risers. Makakalaban pa nila ngayon yung nagtagumpay in the Philippine Cup, ang San Miguel, the only team na hindi pa natin nakikita. But syempre, bago naman tong tournament na to, and we expect na the target is always going to be on the previous champion. So we'll see how San Miguel will be able to open up their campaign here. But yung Terra Firma at Phoenix na pinag-usapan mo, sitting pretty at the top of the standings.
We have a better understanding right now if we consider the tournament format. Out of the 13 teams, only 8 will advance. The bottom 5 will not make it past the elimination round. And it is a huge surprise that Terra Firma is up there at 3-0. At nabanggit mo rin yung fast rising Phoenix We Will Masters, 2-0 naman yung kanilang kartada.
Yep, now let's revisit yung huling laro netong Titan Ultra. I think a lot of people said, okay, nagulat lang in their first game against Terra Firma, and yung mga tao na yung nagulat when they lost again by 33.
They have to do a lot of polishing, not just offensively but also defensively. They allowed Phoenix to score 109 points and 36 happening in the fourth quarter. They only shot 36%. We're talking about Titan Ultra, and their team was only good for 76 points, only 13 assists. What does that mean? They play a lot of individual basketball, also turnovers. They have to take better care of the leather. They lost 27 opportunities to score because of their mishandling of the leather. And as a result, 26 total points for Phoenix from points of the turnovers, while for them, they only scored 8. In the fourth quarter, I just had to mention this, 36 points for Phoenix and only 12 for Titan Ultra.
That's right. 9-point lead lang entering the fourth quarter, pero lumobo talaga in the final 12. Well, Michael Gilmore has been trying to do everything that he can para mabuhat etong Titan Ultra for them. Not only to try and get a win, pero not to get embarrassed the way they have been in their first two games. But he has only been able to do so much. He's talented, but he's gonna need some support around him.
He is scoring well. He's averaging 30 points per ball game. Exploded for 33 in their previous game, or in their first game against Terra, and 27 in their last game against Phoenix. If there's one thing that he has to improve on, it is really his field goal shooting. He took 28 attempts to score 27 points. That's a lot. In their previous game, 14 out of 33 for just 42%. Rebounding improved tremendously from 13 in his first game to 20 in their game against Phoenix. Better defense with 4 steals. The only problem is turnovers. So triple-double performance, but the last one is on a negative end.
Kung magti-triple-double ka rin lang naman, you never want to include turnovers in there. But you know what? Now that Calvin Abueva is no longer with this team, yung inaasahan talaga nila is Joshua Monzon. And we're talking about providing that secondary scoring after the import.
Oh yes, and he has to play consistent basketball. You take a look at the local complement of Titan. This guy really has to score probably in the 30s. He scored 32 points against the Firma, but still, it was not enough for them to win that basketball game. He only took 8 attempts against Phoenix. He was good for 9 points, a huge drop comparing to this level of performance in their first game. Free throw shooting also dropped. Steals also was not able to play good defense. And the worst part is because the defense now is ganging up on him. He turned the ball over 7 times. So can you imagine that? 10 times. Turnover ni Gilmore, 7 times para rito kay Monzon. And these are 2 of your top 2 players in your team, so they really have to take better care of that leather.
Yung focus kasi ngayon when it comes to the locals coach, it's clearly on Monzon. Dati may kahati pa siya, may Abueva pang aalalahanin yung depensa or may Tolentino previously, but now is the focus on Joshua Monzon. For more on the Titan Ultra, let's send it over now to Miss Ella Gomez.
Judd and Coach RG, according to Coach Renzi Bahar, it's all about energy and hustle from the beginning. Hindi lamang sa sustaining it also pala all 4 quarters. Hindi lamang daw isang quarter, not just for a few minutes, but all 4 quarters. Sabi ni Coach Renzi, if they pick up on their hustle and energy, then they have at least a fighting chance. Another problem for them, ang bola nila nasa import lang at na kay Josh. Everyone needs to step up and they need to move the ball around. Their last 2 games round were blowout games and things need to change, lalo na going up against SMB. In preparation for today, they did a lot of film viewing. Sabi nga ni Coach, we know they have the same system. Di naman magbabago yan, so they need to learn how SMB moves. And as for Titan, they need more process today and to find the open man as well as to get those rebounds for them to be able to challenge SMB. Balik muna sa inyo.
Kahit sino pa ang kausapin mo sa Titan Ultra, kahit sino pa ang kausapin mo sa buong PBA, yung respeto para sa San Miguel Beermen will be at a maximum right now. These are the champions from the previous conference. They've won the last 2 editions of the Philippine Cup. And as always, Coach, ngayon may reinforcement pa. We expect the Beermen to even come out as a better team.
Yes, and it all depends on their recruit. Yung kanilang import, usually finals at mananalo itong San Miguel sa Philippine Cup, tapos mamumroblema sa kanilang import. But look at their performance in the previous conference, 9-2 in the elimination round. Even if they lost their first 2 games, they had a 10-game winning streak. They defeated Barangay Ginebra in the semifinals in 6 games. Also defeated TNT in the finals also in 6 games. Won their franchise 31st PBA title, 12th in the Philippine Cup. And you know that every time you play the All-Filipino Conference, that is owned by Junmar Fajardo. But right now, you see their important enforcement, new guy, Marcus Lee. A lot of eyes will be focused on this guy. And the most basic aspect is, can he keep in step? Can he be a good mix in the scheme of things or under the system of Coach Leo Austria?
That's right. You know, yun yung laging tanong pag-import ng San Miguel. It's not always, magaling ba? It's, paano siya papasok dun sa sistema na may sandamakmak na star, may Junmar Fajardo pa. And that will be the challenge for Marcus Lee. He's gonna have to build a twin towers, or hindi na lang twin yata, parang quadruple towers na dito sa San Miguel Beermen, Coach RG. But skill set-wise, ano yung kakailanganin maipakita ni to complement this team?
Well, you look at his age. He's a veteran at 31 years old. He played college with the University of Kentucky, also University of California. Last played in Australia in the National Basketball League. He is 6'11", so what do you want from him? It is really perimeter shooting so that Junmar Fajardo can actually still maintain the spacing that is necessary for him to operate inside the paint. Also, probably a little bit of outside shooting from beyond 15, also from the three-point area. So what you like is an Arwin Santos prototype. Ganun lang kasimple ang requirements ito. And of course, every now and then, they want him to be a rim protector. So they can be a pretty good defensive unit every time he plays inside the basketball court.
Rumor has it, sinubukan kunin ng San Miguel si Arwin as their import. Pero yun nga kasi napatunayan ng formula. Junmar needs a guy like that around him. And we talk about this guy because, I mean, a 9-time MVP. It's a record in the PBA, and I guarantee you, you look around the world for basketball leagues, bibihira ka makakakita ng tao na 9 na beses nanalo ng MVP.
And he's just so dominant. Ganun kagaling itong si Junmar Fajardo. And what is nice about him is he has maintained his humility, has always kept himself grounded. 17.3 points per ball game in the previous conference, 17 rebounds on a 57% shooting from the field. Also was able to dish off a shade under 4 assists. 12-time PBA champion, 13-time best player of the conference, 5-time finals MVP, and the first recipient of the Ramon Fernandez Finals MVP trophy. Incredible accolades for Junmar Fajardo.
And you know that Junmar still has room left in his trophy cabinet dahil malamang sa hindi, marami pa makukulikta yan. But it's time now to get the season or the conference started for San Miguel. Time to meet the starters for both teams.
At guard from Pavia, Iloilo, number 4, Brian Sahonia. From Pampanga, also at guard, number 24, Joshua Punzoy. At forward from Negros Occidental, number 22, Kate Flores. From the Wagi Locos Norte, also at forward, number 9, Pao Havilionar. And at center, number 2, Michael Gilmore. Head coach for Titan is Renzi Bahar. And now, here are the starters for the San Miguel Beermen. From Iban, Batangas, at guard, number 33, Wami Johnson. Also at guard from Bautista, Pangasinan, number 77, CJ Perez. From Pinamagahan, Cebu, at center, number 15, Junmar Fajardo. At forward, number 24, Marcus Lee. And also at forward from Ilocos Sur, number 13, Marshall Lassiter. Head coach for San Miguel is Leo Austria. Game officials are Peter Ballo, Marty Montoya, Carlo Vergara, and Jonathan Ostero.
Officials for this game will be led by crew chief Peter Balao, Marty Montoya, dalawang veterano Pipito sa atin, Carlo Vergara, and Jankin Ostero. Titan Ultra trying to go a little bit taller with their starting unit with Gilmore, Flores, and Havilionar in their front court. Munzon also a tall guard, and the rookie Sahonia pasok agad sa kanilang starting unit. Samantalang San Miguel, it's gonna be Tiongson, Lassiter, Perez, Fajardo, and Lee. And they will have unlimited ammo in their bench. Kahit pa coach in this game, we'll hear more about it later. No Jericho Cruz, no Chris Ross to open up their Commissioner's Cup.
But they still have Wami Chongson, of course, Marshall Lassiter is also in the starting lineup for Coach Leo Ostra, and CJ Perez. But first turnover created by the defense of Titan Ultra.
Munzon was unsuccessful, and Sahonia will have to try and chase. Fajardo, no problem for Junmar.
Sometimes it paid off. Yung ganung mga slow and running back in transition, the moment they got the leather back, he was the first one down to finish a fast break opportunity. Another turnover here for Titan Ultra.
2 possessions for Titan Ultra, and the two things, coach, the one thing that we saw from those 2 possessions, ang active ni Lee defensively. Lengthy, plays the passing lane, challenges shots. He'll be a great fit for Junmar on the defensive end.
That is definitely a very good sign. They need someone who can be a rim protector for them and will also not demand that rock. So as a result, you see the offense of San Miguel flowing. 5 straight points, all unanswered here, courtesy of the 2 field goal attempts and made shots by San Miguel.
Mainit pa rin mula sa championship run nila itong SMB. Lassiter hitting a 3-point shot hatid sa atin ng Arena Plus Sportsbook.
At the start of this coverage, we heard, of course, first-time head coach Renzi Bahar remind his players they have to play with aggressiveness. They have to come up with the desired energy to compete against a perennial champion in San Miguel. But the other thing is they have to be accurate. They have to do the right things every single time, because in the first few possessions that they've had offensively, masama yung kanilang execution.
You know, all eyes to start this game are also focused on CJ. Back in the finals, he had a 30-point first quarter. Back in the recent FIBA window, he did score the first 10 points of Gilas Pilipinas in that game against New Zealand. So, posibleng maging signature ni CJ yung strong start.
And can I imagine that? And it's almost unfair as we take a look at that first attempt. Good attack by Flores, scoring the first 2 points for his team. So I say na medyo unfair dahil si Junmar Fajardo, he's not slowing down. He's just getting better. Ito naman si CJ, gumagaling lalo. Nakakatakot lalo itong San Miguel. And of course, they also have a purpose. Their goal is very, very fresh in their minds. And their target was, of course, a Grand Slam. Nabanggit mo, ano pa ba kulang doon sa trophy cabinet ni Junmar? Probably Grand Slam.
Possibly. Kasi meron na siyang perpetual Philippine Cup trophy. Well, that's the second time that Gilmore got the attempt of Perez, which I find interesting, Coach, that they put Michael Gilmore on CJ Perez.
Oo, probably it's the respect accorded to a player like CJ Perez because CJ can really wax hot. So, tinatanggal mo by putting a big man in front of CJ, tinatanggal mo yung outside shooting niya. So, the mentality of CJ now is use his quickness to break down the defense of Gilmore.
But there is Marcus Lee introducing himself to the PBA.
And that is going to be a problem because Gilmore now is forced to play in the perimeter. Who's going to guard the big guy, Marcus Lee, a relatively smaller player in Flores?
Pati si Junmar may height advantage over Javillonar. Sa side ng Titan Ultra, it's import versus import. Gilmore puts it up, no good. Oh, look at Flores just take that rebound away from Fajardo. Sahonia hits the three.
And that is the kind of energy that they need, fighting for every possession, getting multiple opportunities to score, and knocking down his first three-pointer in the ball game is their rookie, Sahonia.
We gotta talk about Flores and why he's such a fun player to watch and such an asset para sa Titan Ultra. Eh, he doesn't care, Coach, kung ilang oras nang naiiwan, kung gaano kalaki yung lamang ng nila or ng kalaban. He just plays hard.
Oh yes, he plays with a lot of enthusiasm. As we take a look at this first undersize, of course, if he's like a foot away from the basket, expect a 6'11" guy to dunk. But look at this intensity, just keeping that ball alive, snatching it from Junmar Fajardo and issuing a nice assist pass to his point guard.
Here's Gilmore, almost taken away. Michael Gilmore able to recover and score.
Better defense that time by Titan Ultra. What you need is 4 stops. And on the other side, easy baskets. Do not let San Miguel's defense to be set up before you attack. You gotta score on easy points.
Perez sa ilalim, bakbakang Lee and Flores. That's gonna be a foul call on Cade.
That's going to be the second personal foul against Cade Flores. Let us see if that will force the hand of Coach Renzi Bahar to make the adjustment right away defensively. Wala, stay pa rin si Flores sa import ng San Miguel.
Yeah, we have to say this about itong dalawang bigs ng Titan Ultra in Javillonar and Flores. Yes, both of them are undersized against their matchups, but they play bigger than their size, their heights.
And they can mix it up. They play with a lot of physicality. Hindi sila nagbaback down kung meron konting action at kiskisan sa loob. So yun talagang asset nitong tandem na ito.
Monzon slices through, and Titan now gets the lead.
Good attack once again, trying the defense of Marcus Lee. Offensive-minded, ngayon itong si Josh Monzon.
Lee fouled by Gilmore. Gilmore saying he got all ball. Let's see if magcha-challenge on Titan Ultra. It doesn't look like they'll be contesting that ball. It's gonna be 2 free throws para kay Marcus Lee, who has 2 points on a dunk. This time, let's bring in Ella again.
Jot and Coach RG, according to Coach Leo Austria, the San Miguel Beermen expects that all eyes will be on them today because this is their first game back right after winning a championship. Dagdag pa ni Coach Leo na sila lang hindi pa nakikita maglaro with their import. Sabi nga ni Coach Leo, maybe the other teams will be surprised with their decision dahil they were not looking for an import who can dominate but who can help the team further, and Marcus Lee can definitely defend. Unfortunately naman for that team today, as we can see, Jericho Cruz is not suited up due to back spasm, which he sustained since playing for Guam, and Chris Ross is out due to his right Achilles injury, which he was managing since the finals pa last time, noong Game 5 and 6. He got it checked noong off-season and is expected to be resting pa. Balik muna sa inyo.
Thank you, Ella. Coach, grabe, no? It's really today's basketball. Fast break, you fumble it, you still look for that 3, and it pays off.
Kasalanan ni Steph Curry yan. Grabe yung inflow. Advantage San Miguel.
You talk about Wami Tiongson, now a 2-time PBA champion. Ang tagal niyang hinintayan. And he had to sacrifice a lot from someone who scored 20 or more, or around that number, diba? 20 a game as the leading and the focal point of offense ng Terra Firma. Now to a much smaller role, but winning has come with that smaller role here in SMB.
He was averaging over 20 points per ball game in his previous team, but they were not winning a lot of games. Here in San Miguel, maski konti yung in-score niya, mas marami naman siyang naiipon.
That's true.
Because of bonuses, finals, championship bonus, and all that.
Yun yung mga minsan business decision nila in the world of basketball.
Doon na tayo sa sali lang, tapos mag-champion. Mas mabuti ang equation doon.
Go to the post. Okay, go to the post against Lassiter. He can hit you right away. Now, listen. Look at this, ha? Huwag ka na umalis dito, foul. Okay? Josh, after the cross screen, go up. Okay? Brian and Michael, stay here. Spacing on the other side. Okay? Right away, we go to Kane. Kane, 1 dribble, go strong to the right. Okay? Hey, listen. Ipahan mo. Set. Okay, look at Paulo here. Or screen, set a square screen kay Josh, ha? Let's go.
Back in the Philippine Cup, Titan Ultra was actually the #1 scoring team, averaging just a tick under 105 points. Sila rin yung pinakamabilis. Coach, you take a look at the bottom two statistics on the left side. Fast break and points off turnovers. Namamayagpag sila. That has changed completely in their first 2 games here.
Oh, they were definitely fun to watch. 105 points per game or close to 105. #1 in the league, down to just 79. And sino ba? At ano ba nagbago? Isang tao lang. Calvin Abuebang nawala. So nawala lahat ng intangibles din. Remember, Calvin was the leading scorer in the previous conference.
Yeah, that's right. Scoring champion of Philippine Cup. And I guess medyo mahirap din talaga for this franchise. I mean, they were taken over by the Titan Ultra entering the 50th season, but when they were still the Northport Batang pair, they also had the leading scorer of the league in Arvin Tolentino, but Arvin decided to take his talents overseas. So medyo kinakailangan din talaga maghanap ng bagong identity, and I think they might still be in the process of it, talking about the Giant Risers.
Nagbago talaga yung composition ng kanilang koponan na mahihirapan talaga sila mag-compete against more talented teams. Naramdaman nila yun. Even Terra Firma, they lost by 30. In their previous game against the Fuel Masters of Phoenix, they lost by 33. But they were in the thick of things in the middle quarters, but they don't have enough kumbaga, weapons to keep in step, stay in the game. They lost eventually sa fourth quarter, partner, 36-12.
Yeah.
Naghahanap ako ng iba pang mga rason pero ganun lang yun, including the 14-point explosion of Nelly in that game. Tatlo yun I covered that game. Tatlo coming from the 4-point line.
A perfect, perfect 3 of 3 from 4-point range. By the way, if you guys are tuning into the Commissioner's Cup for the first time, you might be surprised, bakit ang tatangkad na itong mga import? Well, this conference, there's no height cap for imports. So we have a bunch of 7-footers. Nga pwede mag-point guard si Junmar this conference.
Pwede na siya tumira sa labas He will be allowed to take shots or more than 1 shot from the 3-point range. There's a lull right now. That incursion of CJ Perez is being reviewed. If there is more than just a regular foul. Wala naman. Honest, lang yun. Defense, of course, there was a foul.
I think he got hit where it hurts. But yes, si Avillonar was just actually... there was no extra motion sa pag-contest ni Avillonar. Napayungan ng konti, doon ang galing yung foul, but no extra movements. Avillonar actually checking on Perez right now.
That's a good gesture. But we're talking about the unlimited height of imports. And I saw a lot of our PBA fans troop to Araneta Coliseum yesterday just to see a glimpse of Paul Manute Ball. It was a well-played game, and Manute Ball will be seeing action tomorrow again here and Henares Antipolo against NLEX Road Warriors, who's sporting a 2-0 mark right now in the early goings of our conference.
So abangan natin yan lahat. Ball had a 38-point outburst yesterday, although ending up in a loss. Flores, he can shoot, and he ties the game up.
Good start here for Flores. He only scored 6 points in the entire game against Phoenix. And in their previous game against Tere, was only good for 2 points. And they need production and mileage from other guys other than their import. And also Monzon, but quick on the retaliation. An extra pass. Coach Leo Austria, knowing what his import can do, he's not going to force his shots. He's going to dish off to his open teammate.
That was a great find by Lee. Looper doesn't fall for Sahonya. Marami tayong mga makikita, mga floater, loopers dito. Dahil nga puro 7-footer. Tapos, puro mga agile and mobile 7-footers pa yung mga kinukuha ng mga teams.
That's correct.
Ganun na kasi mga bigs in today's basketball, eh, no?
Yeah, there are tall giants playing in this conference, and there is Justin Brownlee.
That is
Who
very
scored
true.
31 points for Ginebra last night.
And who still continues to set the standard for imports.
Of course, this is the barometer. As you take a look at the three-point shot of Flores, it's not every day that you see him launching shots from the outside, but look at his extra pass. A look-away variety by Marcus Lee, dishing it off to his open teammate Tautua, and Tautua did not disappoint.
Actually, as we talk about imports, a lot of the towers that were tapped by teams are mga defensive specialists, coach. But for San Miguel, they really can afford to get a purely defensive import. Not to say that that's Lee. I think we've seen glimpses of his offense naman. Pero sila afford talaga nila with the ammo they have from their locals alone.
And that is a very good point. Usually, when you try to spot an import, you try to get the best out there. But in the case of San Miguel, you need an import who will fit in the best. So, iba yung mindset itong San Miguel, and they feel like, and Coach Leo Austria is very confident about his new hire, na defensively, this guy can definitely help. And he's proving it at least here in the first quarter of action.
Melesio, quick trigger. Microwave Melesio strikes again. Nakapasok pa lang, tres agad.
This guy is always oozing a lot of confidence. You give him that open look, he's not shy to take those shots, even from deep.
Here's Lassiter being shadowed by Monzon. There's that matchup again, the hard hedge. Tautua, nowhere to go. They have to take the shot, and Lee will not be able to hit that. Oh, ang ganda naman ng pasa ni Melesio kay Omega.
Back-to-back brilliant plays by Melesio. The first one was a three-pointer, and the next one was a pinpoint assist pass to his streaking teammate. Don't look now, Titan again enjoying a one-point advantage.
Here's Tiongson. Off the glass. Monzon on the fast break will finish it.
Oh, definitely one of the best in this league, finishing fast break opportunities. Back-to-back stops by Titan Ultra, which enabled Titan to get to their biggest lead in the game, which stands at 3.
Lee asking for it. Wanted to give it up to Lassiter. 3-on-1 break. And Omega will not be able to finish. Si Tautua na naman ang susubok. And he'll be able to lay it in.
Taking a higher percentage basket. Tautua also trying to attack Gilmore, hoping that Gilmore will be forced to get his third personal foul. So far, 2 across the name of Gilmore.
How about Monzon? Off the curl. He loves that shot, coach.
Oh, yes. And he's allowed to take that shot. He has that within his range. Although in terms of accuracy, he's not yet shooting at the 35% levels. But you know, when he's hot, talagang very streaky siya.
7 points for Joshua Monzon. 4 ang lamang ng Titan. This is the biggest lead for the Giant Risers here in this game. And that is gonna stay with San Miguel. Monzon, they really missed his offense in their last game when he struggled, only put up 9. But he's getting started early here against SMB.
Yung possession, we just keep on running. We're looking for the primary, secondary, but you have to determine right away. So we have to set up the play. We have to keep on moving because they have a big lineup. They keep on switching. Okay? On the switch, you have to roll. Okay? It's all about pick and roll, guys. Okay? But guys, there's a pick and roll, guys, big man. You have to show. Oh, on the middle, heads and slide. Then check. Okay, check. Pagka nag-roll ito, check mo na. Then, gawa mo natin dito. Okay? Alis. And good.
We're back in
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang na.
Lalong-lalo na nung first game. Kasi nung first game, 65 points yan eh. Out of their total of 82. So ibang klase talaga yung 1-2 combination. But ano na ngayon yung mga ibang mga players? They really have to contribute. So the rest of the team, look at the numbers that we have on your screens right now. Somebody needs to step up. And at this point, it's actually Flores who's stepping on the plate.
That's right, bagong pasok. Itong si birthday boy, Jeron Teng. Happy birthday, Jeron. Eh, kaya lang turnover agad ang nakuha as soon as he entered. Monzon will now take a seat. He's put up 7 points. Again, 9 lang siya nung kalaban nila Phoenix. So, looks like he'll be able to get past that mark. Melesio, zigzagging. Nahanap naman si Omega but wasn't able to receive that cleanly. And he throws it out of bounds.
He just got intimidated. Nakita niya eh. No man's land siya ron. Tapos ang bantay niya, yung long arms ni Marcus Lee was just forced to give off a wayward pass. But still a good performance so far by Titan Ultra. They're still protecting a 4-point lead.
Lee. Trollano. Outside shot doesn't work. Gilmore will shoot over Lee. Tua, who has 6 points. That's his first miss of the game. Biglang bumilis yung pace ng laro natin late in the first quarter.
San Miguel showing a little bit of rust. They're not shooting at a very high clip. Only 6 out of 17 so far from the field, not to mention their 6 turnovers. So good thing that they will still have enough time to make the necessary adjustments. They're down by 4 right now, but you have to give credit to Titan Ultra. There was a call by their coach to play with a lot of energy, improve their level of enthusiasm, and just make the right plays. They're not just making the right plays offensively, they're also doing an enormous job making successive stops. And as a result, it is rewarding them by having a lot of chances to score. This is again the new biggest lead of Titan, which stands at 6 points.
At grabe yung impact na dala ni Melesio. Upon entering the game, he's had 3 points and 2 assists. Trollano shooting over the import. No go. Pero hindi rin makakapitan ni Contapay, and that will go back to SMB.
And speaking of the contribution of Melesio, you see this again. He tried to attack the basket. Defense collapsed. He dished off to his open teammate. And the minutes that he has played so far, his team is plus 10. So maganda talaga yung positive contribution ni Melesio. And another turnover by San Miguel, an offensive variety this time. And a chance for Titan Ultra to increase their 6-point advantage.
7 turnovers para sa San Miguel.
There's rust factor.
You remember how they started the Philippine Cup. They lost their first 2 games.
And won 10 straight.
That's right. Pesumal for 4. Von P.
This guy needs to be set up. Again, a fantastic drive and draw for Melesio, spotting his open teammate again.
Teng will fire away. Won't be able to answer. What a start for Titan Ultra, who lost their first 2 games by an average of 31.5. But against the mighty SMB. They go up by 10 points at the end of the first quarter. That was capped off by that 4-pointer galing kay Von Pesumal, the second when we return.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang na.
That he sees that Titan is starting to pick things up. Their practices have been looking good raw. And intention is a big key when practicing. Everyone's more locked in and they have been practicing like they are winning already. Kaya maganda ang tingin ni Gilmore sa kanyang team. He's also more settled in na raw now, knowing his place. And what he wants to bring to this team is his winning mentality. Balik muna sa inyo.
Thank you so much, Ella. Well, I think yung malaking improvement nakita natin in the flow of their offense in that first quarter, Coach.
Well, first is their shot selection. Look at the stat line of Michael Gilmore, 4 points, 4 rebounds, and also shooting at a high clip. And what he's doing right now is he is trusting his teammates. 28 total points now for Titan Ultra, 24 coming from the Filipino crew. And the better part of what happened in the first 12 minutes is the way they play defense. And look at the field goal shooting of San Miguel, only 6 out of 20, and also 7 turnovers. So you really have to take advantage while San Miguel is still trying to stabilize. Medyo rusty pa itong panimula ng mga nakaputi.
Well, ito, unti-unti na rin gumaganda yung flow nila. But you're right, you know, Titan Ultra was just scorching 55% from the field in the first quarter. They were 4 of 8 from 3-point range. Meron pa nung 4-pointer ni Pesumal.
And hard work paying off that time. Second chance opportunity.
What a move!
And look at that, Truliano, di ba? Ito yung sinasabi natin, tong si Truliano, pwedeng mag-start yan sa ibang mga koponan. Pero dito, na-embrace niya na yung konsepto na I can come off the bench, but I will be the first option.
And he's the third leading scorer of SMB behind Fajardo and Perez. Dang. Flips it up, no good. Stop and pop. It's a bump for 4. Doesn't work. That was a gutsy attempt for Vaughn. Ito naman si Teng. This time, wala nang makakapigil sa kanya.
First 2 points in the ball game for Jeron Teng. He will get the minutes because of the absence of Jericho Cruz and Chris Ross. So tama, dapat yan talaga. Think score itong si Jeron.
Akala ko sasabihin mo dahil birthday niya.
Yun na rin, actually, yun ang pinakamalaking rason. Pag tumira siya, di ba, usually sa kanto, ano ka, Pinoy birthday? Eh, birthday niya talaga.
Birthday talaga. And look at him. That's one thing to celebrate about. He just parted the sea of giant risers. Pero ani pa rin ang lamang ng Titan Ultra. No Fajardo, no Perez on the floor. No Marcus Lee as well. Unang pahinga ng import. Tautua was fouled. Sigo.
Matatawagan siguro dito itong si Aris Junicio. His first personal foul, but that is just a strong attack and talagang determined move by Mo Tautua. He moved the defense of Gilmore. Parang ano niya, tinoro niya just to get Gilmore out of place. Good thing it was not called for an offensive foul. He nails his first free throw.
Kadalasan pag yung mga local bigs coach yung sinisil ni Mo dahil sobrang lakas niya. Natatawagan niya siya ng offensive foul. Etong import medyo may onting resistance para. Pero nauurong niya pa rin.
Ganun kalakas itong si Mo Tautua. So tama yung nabanggit mo. Dahil nga halos kasing laki niya, tapos kasing bigat niya, nate-temper niya rin yung kanyang lakas.
Here now is Teng. Unable to get that on the box out, matatawagan ng foul si Brondial.
Brondial had a scintillating finals in the previous conference. Fantastic performance. Tuwan-tuwa sa kanya yung mga taga-suporta ng San Miguel. And look at that, just a slight push. He was called for an offensive foul. But you like what this guy brings to the table. He's not going to demand playing time, but every time he plays at a very high level.
And the tenure of Brondial dito sa SMB, it's anchored on kung paano niya pinapadali yung buhay ni Junmar Fajardo. He's partly the reason, coach, kung bakit din nakakapagdagdag pa ng mga MVP si Junmar.
Oh yes, he's willing to do all the other aspects in the ball game. He will get rebounds, he will shoot the perimeter jumper, and aside from that, of course, he's gonna do all the dirty work.
Here's Tautua now. Hinahanap si Brondial. Hindi lang makakapitan ni Ular, and so that play ends up as a reset for SMB. Ito rin yung gumanda dito sa San Miguel. Dati, it's always Junmar complemented by either Tautua or Brondial. Pero ngayon, kaya na coach ni Brondial at ni Tautua to share the floor and hold the ground. Look at that. Like you said, pepwesto lang kung saan siya mabibiyayaan.
He has very good hands. His anticipation is up there. And what you like about it is finishing around the basket is almost automatic for him. He positioned himself so well. He got the ball, no other choice for him but for a quick up. And he scored his first 2 points in the game.
Paulo! Ako, punta ka na lang ha. Paulo, fake screen!
You have to attack them at the post. Okay, once you get the ball, okay, your man is sagging. You have to set up a screen or you have to cut and we have to keep on moving. Okay? Nakita natin. And most probably, pag nakakuha dito, your man will try to help. You have to dive. Okay? Replace, but to get an open shot. Okay?
The San Miguel Beermen playing in their first game here in the Commissioner's Cup at pinapakilala rin nila yung kanilang bagong import na si Marcus Lee na talaga nagpakilala in this play.
You look at this baseline out of bounds play, well executed play for San Miguel. As if they're J. Perez, but a quick cut towards the basket. Look at their import Marcus Lee. Get that ball using his vertical advantage and slamming it hard for his first 2 points in the ball game. That is what you like. When you're tall, put the ball up. And usually when you're being guarded by a small player, there's no way you can be stopped.
And Trollano will also not be stopped dahil dun sa pag-atake niya. Itong si Don, he's so comfortable, coach, pag open court. One man to beat, lista mo na yan para kay Don.
Tama yan. And he also has the uncanny ability to use his body just to move his defender a little bit for him to get a better space for his shots.
Uy, nagawa ng paraan yung Millionaire. Parang nagulat siya na may pader bigla between him and the basket, but went around Junmar to score.
And the loop was a little higher again. Di ba? Kailangan medyo mataas talaga yung kanyang tira. Hindi masasapal ka ng Junmar.
Fajardo had nowhere to go. Not much movement para sa SMB doon. Rosales will fire away. Wala. Rebound Monzon. Tatakbo na naman ang Titan. Joshua will finish. 9 points para kay Monzon.
Oh, the game plan is very obvious here for Titan Ultra. Just do whatever is possible for them to make stops. And as soon as they get the ball, look at them trying to look for an opportunity to run again. But bad pass by Aris Jonicio that time. Sayang yun dahil nasa momentum na ulit sila eh. Napunta pa sa San Miguel ulit.
Yung mabilis na pace na itong laro natin, coach, is this a Titan kind of a pace?
Well, the only reason why they're trying to speed up the game is they want to take advantage. Doon ba sa kanilang feeling nila, yung speed component nila will slow down Junmar Fajardo. But Junmar Fajardo is doing a lot of extra things right now, trying to score on offense para mandigate din yung kanyang inability to sprint down on defense.
Junmar Fajardo o James Yap Fajardo?
Oo nga, isang kamay, winasiwas eh.
James Yap yun, di ba? Yung ginagalaw ng nakadakot. But look at this, Monzon is in a mood right now.
Grabe talaga to si Josh Monzon. Pag yung nasa usual element siya, unang-una kumukumpiyansa muna yan sa kanyang mga layups. Pag nakuha niya na yung kanyang mga fast break attacks at penetration, biglang tatama yung kanyang mga step back jumpers.
And Trollano was able to draw the foul and finish through it. Mabilis na palitan ng puntos for these two teams.
And look at this move. Again, because of his strength, nagalaw niya na yung kanyang kalaban, nawala na sa balanse, nakashoot pa siya, now chance for a three-point play. On the other side naman, this is a very difficult move. Usually that's a low percentage shot, but it's obvious that Monzon has been working on that in practice. It becomes second nature to him.
There are people who step back for a jumper. Si Monzon parang hop back. That's why he's able to create more than enough separation. Hindi na kompleto ni Trollano yung free throw. And nagmintis naman si Monzon. It's back with Don. They want to get it to Fajardo. Teng says, akong bahala dito. And he gives the lead back to SMB.
Natural scorer talaga itong si Teng. Pag nakakita ng puwang a little opening, talagang gagawa siya ng paraan na score.
Monzon.
Shot, no?
Yeah. And credit to Fajardo, was able to lock Monzon up. And Junmar, nagdalawang isip pa.
This is where your speed can be a disadvantage because itong Titan is not really pushing the ball. They're hurrying things up. And as a result, look at our quarter scoring, 21 points already for San Miguel and only 8 points for Titan. There's a stark difference between trying to be quick and also being in a hurry. And the last few sequences for Titan, nagmamadali sila. That's why they cannot get a good shot off.
Ooh, color developing between Gilmore and Brondial. Alam natin, the last game day kagabi. Medyo meron ding mga incidents, no? And there were penalties and suspension slapped for the players involved.
Yes, punches were thrown yesterday, and I'm sure the commissioner's office will again review what happened. But so far, for as long as all the players are playing within the bounds of basketball and not venture into anything more than just the game, it is definitely embraced.
Hanggang basketball lang
Yun lang
tayo.
muna, you cannot cross to a different sport.
Oo, hindi tayo nagko-cross training dito eh. Hindi to parang SEA Games na maraming medalya. May medalya rin sa boxing.
Correct.
You have to love how Titan Ultra is taking it to San Miguel, coach, here in the first half.
They just have to value every possession. But that was a shot that I thought Junmar Fajardo will be allowed to take more than once in a game, that three-pointer, because pinakita naman niya, nakasama na sa range na yun. And now, if he plays alongside Marcus Lee, for example, Marcus Lee can actually get the offensive rebound in case Junmar misses. But this time, hindi nagpintis.
At yung tres na yan ni Junmar, hatid sa atin ng Arena Plus Sportsbook. I'm not sure lang kung na-realize ni Junmar na wala pa si Marcus Lee sa sahig. He's still on the bench, but Junmar says, you can't give me this look. Diba? Such an open look. Sabi niya nga dati sa isang post-game press con, diba? Kaya lang siya hindi tumitira ng tres para hindi mawala ng trabaho yung mga shooters sa team nila.
Correct.
He actually said that. Brondial, hindi makakasama sa three-point party si Rodney. Great defense by the Giant Risers.
And you have a feeling that every time Junmar Fajardo opens his mouth, talagang lumalabas pa rin yung kanyang humility at yung kanyang pakikikapwa. Can you imagine, di ba? Inisip pa rin niya yung mga kasamahan niya. Baka mawalan ng trabaho.
Sipin mo, baka maunahan niya pa si Marcio Lassiter sa best three-point shooter in the history of the PBA. But San Miguel is now up by 2 points with about 4 minutes left. Monzon, the looper no good, but Gilmore was there to mop it up.
And he's now beginning to understand his importance inside, especially on the offensive end. We're talking about the import of Titan. When somebody takes a shot, he must always make himself available for a possible putback.
Nahanap na kanina si Fajardo pero na-deny ni Villonar. Now it's Perez, again guarded by Gilmore. CJ missing that time, but look at Rosales, speedy to the basket. or to the basketball, I should say. Perez, natapikan sa likod. Mukhang may i-correct. Referee Marty Montoya stepping in and correcting that initial call. Nung una kasi, bibigay na sa Titan Ultra. But now it will be San Miguel basketball, not before this timeout. That is requested. We're knotted up. 42 apiece, 3:26 left in the second quarter.
Okay, hey, look at this, okay? I bring the ball out of bounds here. Okay? I bring the ball out of bounds here, okay? This is Don. Don. Jumar. Okay, you have to stay here. Okay? You have to stay here, okay? Screen for Don. Jumar. Screen for Don. Okay?
Ang MVP Finals, sino sa tingin nyo? Ang akong silingan sa Cebu, Junmar Fajardo!
That was such an incredible moment. A legend awarding another legend. Matagal na nating alam na si El Presidente to some extent na ipasa na yung trono papunta kay Junmar Fajardo, but that was the closest of a physical passing of the torch we'll ever get possibly.
Oh yes, goosebumps all over, especially when I was growing up. Talagang big fan ako ni Don Ramon Fernandez. Tapos you can just feel his sincerity when he was about to award that trophy to Junmar Fajardo. Yung excitement, tsaka yung happiness niya. You just can feel how proud he was when he was doing that.
Tsaka parang aagawan pa tayo ng trabaho, coach, sa pag-award ng MVP. Ang galing.
So natural.
Oo, nga eh.
Diba?
It'd be nice na maimbitahan si Don Ramon minsan tumabi sa atin, no?
Of course.
To call a game. Parang natural nga siya behind the mic. And Rosales is also natural in hitting those stagger threes against the shot clock pa yun. That's why he had to put it up.
And this is another guy we're talking about, Rosales, whose minutes will also explode in this conference while Chris Ross is recuperating from his injury. And he played a lot of quality minutes in the finals last conference. So, kumbaga, itong si Rosales parang naging journeyman na rin dito sa PBA. But definitely, parang nakuha niya na yung kupunan na pwede siyang mag-stay because of his skill set and the way he complements the other players here in San Miguel.
Oh, look at Flores just take it away. Cade will slam it home.
Oh, they like that one. I didn't realize that he has that kind of a leaping ability.
Pero, ang San Miguel, ang bilis lang nung sagot. At sabi na, isihan lang natin yan.
It counts for 2 points just to say. Now, Troliano did not start in this ball game. Was held scoreless in the first 12 minutes, but now is a top scorer for his team with 10 points.
What a pass, but Troliano sends a Villanar shot back. No one told Rosales na hinahabol siya ni Gilmore sa likod. Ayun yung mismong sinabi ni Chris. Sabihan nyo naman ako. Look at this. Flores with a steal. And he takes that baby home. Lee. Atrasan si Cade. Foul called on Flores before an attempt. So it will just be a sideline inbound para sa SMB.
A lot of bumping happening there while Marcus Lee was trying to get a position near the rim. Just the second team foul for the black shirts of Titan.
Lee again. Cross-court kay Perez. CJ titikada sa labas. Good boxing out para sa front court netong Giant Risers. Fran fakes everyone and gets that shot to fall in.
Nakakatawa maglaro itong si Fran Yu eh. Akala mo talagang ang first order of battle is to give up that assist pass, but he found himself open. Why not? 4 points for Fran Yu in this game.
Rosales going to the other side. It's Perez. Chris Wong. Fajardo with the board. Back to Rosales. But he did not have an angle to that shot attempt.
Back-to-back misses, of course. Credit also must be accorded to Titan for challenging as many attempts as possible, forcing San Miguel to miss a lot of shots. Tapos pagdating sa opensa, kitang-kita mo, atake talaga sila eh. They will not massage the ball, ika nga. They will always look for an opportunity to score on the break.
With what you said, we have to give credit to the guards of Titan Ultra, particularly those who came off the bench, Melesio and Fran Yu. The moment they entered the game, coach, gumanda nga yung pagdidistribute ng bola at ng mga tira for the Giant Risers.
I thought Melesio played an exceptional game with his shots from the outside, his assist passes, and also his overall performance. And this big guy, Villonar, also competing hard against Junmar Fajardo. There's a challenge right now.
On that foul.
Yes. And it was called by coach, of course, head coach Leo Austria.
Wala pong ka-FaceTime yung San Miguel coaching staff. They're looking at the play that just happened. Kumbaga, they're conducting their own review. Pero wala silang say kung ano yung magiging hatol.
Tama, because alam naman natin yung ating technical committee, maraming camera angles yan that they can use just to make sure that they made the right call. Now, if it was not the right call, it is well within their responsibility to overturn their initial call.
Parang relax lang naman si Coach Leo, even though they are down by 1 against a team that lost by 31.5 in their first 2 games.
After the review, there's an hacking foul on Marcus Lee against Pau Villonar. Therefore, the challenge made by San Miguel Beer is not successful.
Alright, so referee Junkin Ostero making that announcement. So hacking daw, yung hacking foul yung nakita nila. Klaro naman.
After the first one was all ball, but the wind down, tinamaan yung shoulder ni itong si Villonar. But aside from that, I just want to say this. You know, the referees are doing a better job articulating the kind of call that they made, meaning they're now talking with a lot of confidence. It is just a testament that you get better on the things that you emphasize. Credit must be given also to the Commissioner's Office dahil binibigyan ng kumpiyansa yung ating mga referees. You know, in the NBA, it's easy because it's their primary language. Pero dito sa atin, whatever you're most comfortable with, just communicate the right way.
Totoo yan. And let's also understand na yung trabaho po ng mga referees naman is pumito, di ba, to officiate the game, and hinihingi natin tong a little extra for them na matulungan tayo maintindihan kung ano yung nangyayari on the floor. And maraming salamat sa ating mga officials for, you know, being open to these innovations.
Tama yan. Again, you saw the way Junmar Fajardo was able to extricate from a very tight situation. 3 guys collapsed on him, but still, he was able to make a basket. So, ganun kalakas itong si Junmar Fajardo.
Yep, Fajardo now working with 11 points. May 6 rebounds pa. Yung stat line niya looks more like an import stat line than Marcus Lee's so far. But ito nga kasi ang San Miguel, dati may tinatawag tayong depth squad dahil solid nung starting 5 nila. But now, it's become a depth squad sa lalim naman ng talent nitong roster ng SMB.
And they're not gonna rotate, they're not gonna change. Especially Don Troliano coming off the bench, he was still able to put up close to 17 points per ball game. Jericho Cruz will not see action in today's game, but he averaged 11.5. So those 2 players averaged in double figures. JM Calma, another big guy who contributed 8 points per ball game. Mohamed Chongson, 7.6. Pero yung nabanggit natin, 7.6 nga. Pero 2 kampyonato na. So yun na lang ang pipiliin. Of course, Jeron Deng also good for 7.1 points per game.
But again, the guards of Titan Ultra, Fran Yu making a difference here. Balik na naman ang lamang sa Giant Risers. Miller, pinasok na ni Coach Leo. May foul kay Yu. That's only the fourth team foul. Pero first in the final 2 minutes. So, nasa limit na rin itong Titan Ultra.
And it was acknowledged right away by Fran Yu. Let us see the kind of offensive attack San Miguel will do with 8 seconds remaining in their shot clock.
Lassiter. That was a miss. Ular. Pepreno, nakita si Tautua. Now he finds Gilmore, and Mike Gilmore with an easy shot underneath. San Miguel naman ngayon na magsusunog ng 30 nila, their 30-second timeout. Something you can't carry into the second half anyway. The Titan Ultra coach up by 3 against SMB.
And this is what they need to do. Again, they have to push that ball and they have to score before Junmar Fajardo sets up his defense. And look at that shot of Gilmore. That is going to be an easy basket for him, only up against a smaller defender. And nice pass by Ato Olar. Look at the performance of Gilmore. 4 points in the first quarter, 8 points happening here in the second quarter alone for a total of 12 points. And not only is he playing positively on offense, is also helping out on defense. But kasi yung makikita mo rito, look at his steals, 3 steals, 12 points, 7 rebounds. And also, he's not forcing his shots. So ang makikita natin, nakapag-adjust na siya sa kanyang mga kakampi, alam niya na rin kung anong strengths and weaknesses ng kanyang mga kasamahan, kaya they're playing better basketball, at least in the first 24 minutes of this game. O konti pa, may natitira pang 10 seconds.
Ito na nga, Perez. Gustong umatake, hindi pumasok yung tira niya. And that will be the end of the first half. Titan Ultra. Mukhang talaga nagkakaamuyan na nga sila. They take a 3-point lead into the half against San Miguel.
Oh, from the lens of Titan Ultra, this is exactly the kind of energy that you want displayed. But they still have to do a much better job against Junmar Fajardo, who scored 9 of his total of 11 points in the second quarter. Also was able to grab 7 rebounds and was almost perfect. Only 1 miss from the field. But by and large, it was really Titan Ultra who owned the first half of action.
How will San Miguel respond? That will be the question. Alam naman natin kung anong kalibre netong Beermen. And there will be the second half on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back to break down what happened in the first 24 minutes.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang last.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events. The thrilling moments. And relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP. All in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
This season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events. The thrilling moments. And relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP. All in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
This season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events. The thrilling moments. And relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers.
In Antipolo, and Titan Ultra is not only staying in the game against the San Miguel Beermen, lamang pa sila by 3 points at the half, 52-49. Maraming salamat po sa pagtutok ninyo sa RPTV. Shot Sulit here together with Coach Ryan Gregorio and joined by Miss Ella Gomez na maririnig natin mamaya. Paano ba lumamang itong Titan Ultra, Coach, in this game?
Well, they're playing so much better in terms of their execution on offense. They're also taking advantage. Yung feeling kasi nila, mas mabagal pa itong San Miguel to run back on defense and to defend their transition offense. So that is where they're making a huge living. And also defensively, they're forcing a lot of stops, missed shots, and also a lot of turnovers. Now we take a look at our halftime summary. Look at the shooting of Titan Ultra. That is very impressive. That 52% from the field, 22 out of 42, compared to San Miguel's 41%. What I like is the way they are assisting. 11 assists out of 22 field goals. Napakataas yan dahil in the previous game, they only had 13 assists in 48 minutes. Yung steals naman nila, mas mataas din kontra sa San Miguel, 7-6 yung naging advantage nila ron, at yung kanilang points of the turnovers, that is 15 compared to only 11. So quick wins lang, low-lying fruits, yun lang ang ginagawa ng Titan dito kung saan sila magkakaroon ng kanilang advantage.
Well, so far it's Gilmore and Munzon carrying the Titan Ultra Giant Risers on the scoring front na ina-expect naman natin. We talked about them scoring a combined 65 points in their loss to Terra Firma. Pero ngayon may mga tumutulong coach around them.
Oh, which is very important, particularly itong si Flores at 7 points, his new conference high. Prior to this game, he only scored 6 points, and that was his best in the previous game.
Now let's talk about one of the plays that happened earlier in this game. Help us learn from this, coach, and dissect this play we're going to see from SMB.
What you want to see here is the ability of course, San Miguel to use ball screens and look at their import attacking, because there's only one defender. So for the last line defender, he has to choose. What is it that they're gonna do on pick and roll situations by San Miguel? The first one was an extra pass by Marcus Lee to an open teammate in Moto Tua. This time around on the other side, using that bone-crunching pick of Junmar Fajardo, roll down the basket. Again, defense was late, rotation was not available. Another easy basket by San Miguel. So if Titan Ultra wants to win in this ball game, they have to polish their ball screen defense.
That's right. Well, points in the paint. Lumalamang naman yung SMB, pero balik lang. 2 points ang advantage na doon because Michael Gilmore has also been a workforce in the block. And he just has a bag of different moves to get open.
He's not forcing his shots from the outside. I think he already saw it, because every time he positions himself outside, he loses that chance to get offensive rebounds. Now, when somebody takes a basket, is always there just for an opportunity to go for a putback, and that is where he's generating a lot of his points. He is understanding now the concept of being an import in the PBA, particularly in a team like Titan Ultra, wherein you have to play like Superman. So kinakailangan talaga dyan is you get rebounds, you score, you defend. Dahil nga, makompensate dapat yung lack of, kumbaga, local complement nitong kupunan na ito. Na alam naman natin na medyo alam din nila yun, di ba? Kaya kailangan talagang kilos kayot ng kanilang import.
Kaya hindi rin natin masyado kinukumpara pa tong dalawang imports natin. Kasi magkaiba yung roles na kailangan nilang gampanan dun sa mga teams nilang pinaglalaroin. So you can always expect Marcus Lee, more often than not, baka nagtitrail siya in terms of points sa mga counterparts niya if you put them in an import matchup, because that is not exactly what's being asked of him to provide for the San Miguel Beermen.
Magkaiba talaga yung kinakailangan itong magkabilang import na ito para rito kay Marcus Lee. He has to play more, kumbaga, on the weak side. Ito naman si Gilmore must do a lot of extraordinary things para lang masustain itong Titan Ultra yung kanilang effort in this ball game. They played splendidly in the first 24 minutes, probably their best 24 minutes in their first 3 games.
Nagulo yung pagkakaayos ng buhok ni Joshua Munzon. Had to fix it a little bit. Now a foul is gonna be called on him. Sino mas magaling, mas malinis ang pagkakatali? Marshall Lassiter or Joshua Munzon? Yun yata yung matchup na yan eh. Di ba?
Oo nga, no? Pagdating, ano lang, parang mas mahaba lang itong kay Joshua Munzon, tapos nilagay niya sa likod. Itong kay Marshall nandun sa may, ano niya, taas ng ulo ng bahagya.
Pero yung pagkakabanat, equally impressive.
Yes, eh. Correct.
I don't think kahit si Ella, baka hindi niya matatali yung dalawa. 5-point lead now for Titan Ultra. We can always talk about rust factor for SMB because it's true. They're coming from a championship run. Siyempre, grabe yung binigay mong performance, pagod, sacrifice, relax kang konti. But we can't take away too much from how well Titan Ultra has played in the first half.
Definitely. There was a strong clamor from their coach to play with a different kind of attitude in this ball game. And they are just representing themselves the best way that they can. At ito, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung kanilang stops, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung kanilang brilliance on the defensive end. Now they're trying to push that ball again. Alam mo, swerte pa itong si Marcus Lee. Hindi pa under the microscope, hindi natin na pag-uusapan ng matagal. But his performance so far is not really very encouraging.
Yeah.
Only 4 points on a 1 out of 3 shooting from the field. Also with only 2 rebounds. Turned the ball over 3 times too, so he must do more. Alam naman natin, naasahan na ng San Miguel na medyo magaling din naman yung kanilang import reinforcement.
And he hasn't really been able to stop si Michael Gilmore, di ba? Kung depensa ang kinuha, ang dahilan kung ba't ka kinuha, you should at least be able to limit your counterpart.
That's a very valid point. If there is one strength that you're supposed to do every time you play defense, and that is rim protection. But even the guards are attacking inside. Even Joshua Monson time and again was able to break the defense and score on the layup. So where is the defense of Marcus Lee?
Let's see if he makes a bigger impact dito sa second half. Here he is. The spray, kahilig from the corner. Doesn't get it. Monzon, running start. 3 white shirts. Still could not stop Joshua.
Oh, difficult basket once again by Monzon. It's only Monzon who can do that. He definitely has the license to shoot, even against 3 defenders.
And Fajardo will no longer be able to save that. 6-0 run ang panimula ng Titan Ultra dito sa third quarter. Their lead is back up to 9.
Now for San Miguel, obviously Coach Leo Austria, anxious moments right now because he could not get his import in the right position for him to score. I want to see if he has a back-to-the-basket game. I want to see if he can roll every time he sets a pick and roll. So far, wala pang nakikitang, kumbaga, strong offensive weapon itong si Marcus Lee.
That was Kahilig who got that block. And it will stay with Titan Ultra, pero 7 seconds na lang sa shot clock nila. Just going back to what you said about Marcus Lee's back-to-the-basket game, kanina nakikita natin and he would pass out of situations like that. Monzon, ganda ng pasa sa Honya. Hindi lang papasok yung tira. Now it's Gilmore na susubok sa 3. Wala pa rin. Lee with a rebound. Yongson steps on the brakes. They get it to Marcus. San Miguel's import. Mga ngalabaw na sa ilalim pero hindi papasok yung tira niya. Flores to the cutting Sahonia. One-hander is good. This is the new biggest lead for the Giant Risers.
Ibang klase yung kumpiyansa nitong Giant Risers na to. And look at Sahonia once again. Cutting, finding an open window, and burying a short jumper.
Timeout, San Miguel.
Dr. Teals, trusted game wellness partner, LGR, our official outfitter. Healthy, purebred, our official hydration partner.
Okay, now, somebody's got to stop Monzon. Going inside. Yeah, stay with Monzon, Sohornia, and then other than that. Okay? That's where it's all coming from. All the shots are generated by that guy. Okay? Iron natin yung brush natin, brush.
We are back to the ball game. During the halftime huddle of SMB, Coach Peter Martin said that they discussed how they are losing the 50-50 ball. So this half is all about taking care of the ball and sprinting back. Over on the side of Titan, Coach Renzi emphasized naman to continue the hustle and energy and of course to sustain it. Now this half naman for them is about defending the post, and on the offensive side is to keep on running. Balik muna sa inyo.
Thank you, Ella. Well, definitely kailangan ng adjustment on the side of San Miguel right now dahil wala pa silang naipupuntos dito sa third quarter. Would this be the possession that the Beermen finally score. Ganda rin ang depensa talaga nito Titan Ultra. Here's Perez. Will attack. Up to Lassiter. Got the defense away, but still unable to make the shot. And Munzon passes to Gilmore.
And another great execution on the break. Extra pass, Munzon to his streaking import Gilmore. Still nothing to show here in the third quarter for San Miguel. And this is now the biggest lead of Titan Ultra, 13.
After a 31-point second quarter, hindi makabutas itong San Miguel. Munzon for 4. No good. That was a heat check for Joshua.
10-0 start here for Titan Ultra. You know, San Miguel at some point, they have to play with some pride. They're up against a team that is obviously very hungry for a victory. They lost by 30 points in their previous game, or in their very first game against Terra. Lost by 33 against Phoenix. And look at CJ Perez's performance, 18.5 points per ball game in the Philippine Cup and 0 so far in this game. So they need manage from CJ Perez. They need points, of course, from their import too, is only good for 4 points, all scored in the first half.
Pinag-uusapan pa lang natin si CJ na ang gaganda ng mga simula, you know, in the finals and with Gilas Pilipinas. And when you talk about CJ, he usually listens.
Akala ko, alam mo, minsan tinitignan ko, meron bang earpiece ito? Nakikinig ba ito pag nag-uusap tayo?
Oh, Flores! Hammering it home! A beautiful setup from Brand New!
Now understanding how we're gonna help. Are you gonna jump? We're talking about Marcus Lee because he was trying to help out on Sahonya, pero naiwan naman niya yung kanyang original man na si Flores.
Perez, alam mong maghahanap pa ulit to, pero naagaw ni Munzon. And
That's gonna be a take. Oh yes, that might be a transition take.
Ito muna tingnan natin. CJ finally getting a bucket. First 3 points, tapos sasagot naman ang Titan Ultra.
And this is what I was trying to point out. On the help side stance, Marcus Lee was trying to help out on a much smaller guy like Fran Yu. Do you really have to jump? So, di ba, maninibago na yan eh. So, in the process, because he jumped, he lost his balance, so nag-extra pass itong si Fran Yu, there was no way for him to recover against his original man na si Flores. Second slam dunk na yan ni Flores in this game.
So, ngayon, Coach, convinced ka na may ganun si Kate?
Sigurado na, medyo gusto ko nga mag-sorry. Pero pa pala talaga yan eh. Wala nang opportunity before na gawin. Pero kanina may buwelo, so pwede. Eh, ito halos walang buwelo. Ganun pa rin yung kanyang leaping ability.
They ruled this a transition take foul. Pero alam mo, medyo I understand yung point ng Titan Ultra at na Joshua Munzon that they were asking for more than a transition take. They were asking for
advantage
a
siguro.
Deliberate or a flagrant foul. Kasi delikado rin yung pagkaka-foul eh.
Tama.
Diba?
Pero parang momentum lang rin ni CJ Perez.
So many ways to look at it.
Yes. Oh, wow, another basket. And look at that, playing good music together. This time around, it was Munzon to Avellunar and Avellunar. Now with a total of 4 points. So this is the biggest lead of Titan. It's not a typo. 15 yung lamang ng Titan Ultra kontra San Miguel. And still nothing to show. And look at Titan running once again.
And this is the biggest lead of Titan in the entire conference as Gilmore punctuates their run with a slam. 16 assists for the Giant Risers. Yan yung isang sinasabi mo, Coach. They've been moving that ball so well.
Or they're playing unselfish basketball, and as a result, they're getting easy baskets. They're playing tremendous basketball here, especially in the third quarter. This is where they created a separation as high as 17.
Currently, etong Titan Ultra, they're outscoring SMB 17-3. in the third quarter. Yung 3 puntos ng San Miguel here in the third, isang tira lang yun, yung tres ni CJ Perez a couple of possessions ago. But the Giant Risers have completely silenced the Beermen in this period.
And this is why you want to follow sports. You know, the beauty of sports is its unpredictability. So look at this. I mean, San Miguel playing for the first time. Champions in the previous conference. Titan lost by an average of 31.5 points per ball game. But look at the level of performance of Cade Flores, outdoing himself with a total of 9 points. In this game alone, in the first 2 games, he was only good for 8 points combined. So siya na yung inaasahang third scorer nitong Titan Ultra.
Well, alam mo, kailangan ng gumising ng San Miguel dito if they don't want to fall behind too much. 17 na ang laman ng Giant Risers. Perez nakiraan, wala. And it's not just on offense that Titan Ultra is playing well. They're also shutting down the Beermen.
The way they're playing defense, as if they're not giving up more than 100 points per ball game. So ganon ka-determined itong Titan Ultra. And it is fun to watch.
A foul called on Flores. And Cade naghahanap ng explanation sa ating official.
Oh, showing a lot of vulnerabilities itong San Miguel here in this game. And for the benefit of our late tuners, Titan Ultra, yes, you're looking at it correctly, up by 17 against San Miguel. Now Marcus Lee must be able to show what he is made of. He is just a passer at this point. Of course, when things are not looking bright for San Miguel, they will always look at their best option, and that is Junmar Fajardo. And on the weak side, a strong cut towards the rim by Don Troliano. But of course, from the vantage point of a coach, particularly the coaching staff of San Miguel, you want to give that rock to Marcus Lee. Tignan mo na kung anong kayang gawin. Di ba? Hindi puro off the ball. So yun ang kailangan nilang kumbaga ma-extricate dito sa laro ni Marcus Lee. Kasi so far, he's not even taking a lot of shots. Only 4 attempts so far.
And to your point din, kailangan mo malaman kung ano yung next level na meron especially because we play super short elimination rounds in the PBA.
Oh yes, a total of 13 teams. So one team will play a total of 12. The top 4 teams will advance with a twice to beat advantage. Tapos yung last 5 will be out right away. And ito yung mga sitwasyon wherein talagang kikilatisin mo yung import mo. Not only is he only capable of scoring just 4 points, John, but in the 21 minutes that he has played so far, -20 yung kanyang team. Yun ang mas malaking stat line. Hindi ka na nakakashoot, hindi ka pa nakakatulong.
Here's Perez now. And they turned the ball over again. What a move by Bunzon! And Joshua will finish it.
And he is enjoying this game.
Lassiter, the response. Finally, a basket para sa SMB.
And this is where Titan Ultra must really be wary of the rally aspirations of San Miguel. But quick on the reply was Gilmore with his own 3-point shot for a total of 22.
Kanina, that's a 4.
Wow.
And Perez is fouled. We're seeing great defense from Titan Ultra. But how much of it, Coach, is... how big a part of that yung matchups na dinesign ni Coach Renzi? Ito muna, tingnan muna natin to. Yeah, that's a clear 4-point shot.
Oh, yes. So, Titan Ultra.
Parang nakita ko na yung celebration na yun. And medyo nightmarish, no, Coach? Parang hindi maganda yung alaala for UP fans, for UP alumnus.
Ano na nga ba yun?
Kinalimutan na lang.
Of course.
But yeah,
alam natin yun. You know my number, call me.
Oh, CJ Perez. Kinapitan na lang ni Gilmore. But yeah, kasi nga, initially, Coach, we were kind of surprised. Uy, si Gilmore, nilagay nila kay Perez. Yung ganda ba ng depensa nitong Titan Ultra? anchors on those matchups that they decided on?
What is very obvious is na-scout ni Coach Renzi Bahar and the rest of the coaching staff that they have to shut down itong si CJ Perez because CJ Perez can really explode. So if he puts in a big guy, that means mahihirapan na makahanap ng opening. So ang feeling din nila, a local player can actually guard itong si Marcus Lee, and they've been very effective on that also, but they're missing this guy. Not only is 11.5 points per ball game, but also yung kanyang angas, yung kanyang tapang, lalong-lalo na sa depensa. Of course, no Jericho Cruz and no Chris Ross in tonight's game for San Miguel.
Lassiter, the miss. Lee, hindi makakapitan yung bola. Look at Fran Yu speeding up. Nahanap si Ular!
And just, kumbaga, again and again, just the same refrain for Titan. They're just pushing and they're scoring on the break. And before you realize it, comfortably on top na sila by 18.
Avillonar, pinapahirapan si Fajardo, pero if you don't complete the stop by getting that rebound, you're gonna suffer against Junmar.
But you have to appreciate also the effort of Avillonar. Easily 6 inches shorter than Junmar Fajardo, but is competing at a level wherein he is just denying the block. Yun lang, hindi niya pinapapasok ng madali si Junmar Fajardo. But a challenge will be used by Coach Renzi. He felt like hindi dapat tinawagan si Avillonar doon.
Ang mabigat din kasi dyan, Coach, if that's Gilmore, that's fine. Kaya rin siguro ginamit na ni Coach Renzi itong challenge niya.
Okay, so the foul was actually not called against Avillonar.
Mukha, kasi dun sa help
it was against Gilmore. All right, okay, that makes sense now.
If it is on Avillonar, pang-apat pa na.
Correct.
So that is gonna be a crucial choke point para dito sa Titan Ultra. Kung sakali nga mapituhan ng panglima itong si Michael Gilmore, who has 22 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 block.
There's no illegal contact on Gilmore against Junmar Fajardo. Therefore, the challenge of Titan Ultra is successful. Jump ball.
So good challenge.
Yeah.
We see that again. It was really all ball.
And that should count as a block for Gilmore, actually.
Correct.
Tapos dahil walang imminent possession, actually, it looked like it was San Miguel possession after that because it did land in Junmar's hands, but they're gonna decide jump ball. So the two imports are gonna jump it off. Lee, taxi to Trollano. Quick trigger dun sa 4, and that goes in. Oh, it's a 3. They don't rule it a 4, it's a 3-pointer. Gilmore gustong sumagot, and he does!
Now he's stroking it. He's in a very, very good rhythm right now. His previous basket was a 4-pointer. So 7 straight points here for Gilmore for Ultra. Another turnover.
Gilmore was able to get it, but not in a good position. So kick out sila kay Munzon. But Joshua Munzon, Coach, basang-basa niya lagi yung passing lane.
Yun na nga eh.
Gilmore again! Count it one more time!
Oh, this guy is just a special player. Initially, he was just near the basket going for putbacks. Right now, all accurate shots from deep.
16 points in the third quarter para sa import ng Titan Ultra. And he hit back-to-back threes. Yan tres na yan, hatid natin ng Arena Plus Sportsbook. At hindi pa nakontento sa isa. Back-to-back. And because of him, a 21-point lead, Coach, for Titan.
Oh, San Miguel must start chipping away this huge advantage by Titan Ultra. A strong virtuoso move by Motau Tua, but it is just one end. They have to play defense. Even Contapay has joined the scoring party for Titan Ultra, scoring his first 2.
At yung mga bagsak na facial expressions and body language na nakita natin sa Giant Risers in their first 2 games, it has completely flipped. They are loving every bit of this game. Why not? They're up by 21. At makakaagaw na naman sila. Turnovers just piling up for the Beermen. Gilmore, nakuha niya ulit, but it's lost to Perez. And CJ will take it home. Naglabas na ng galit si CJ. Balanza naman. And look at Titan Ultra.
Oh, they're fighting for every possession.
The pass to Ular. Another assist, coach, for the Giant Risers.
Credit have that basket to Puntapay for saving that drop. Almost an out-of-bounds play for them, and it turned garbage into precious gold.
Trollano will get the basket. Pero tama, panaka-naka yung San Miguel on offense, but they're not able to get stops on the other side.
Tama yun. At ito, may timeout muna. Tatawag ng Titan Ultra, but they're still on top by 19.
Okay, malayo pa yan. Matagal pa yan. Matagal pa yan, ha? Okay, now listen. Frank, baka mag-zone. Frank, baka mag-zone, ha? Go five. Go five. Okay, either Aris or Balanza. Okay? Hey, Jerek, Pampaw, Ato. Dami ko na ito. Dami ko na rito. Okay, Ato. Replace, cut. Screen. Dami, Pampaw. Aris, andito ka.
Back inside, Henares Center in Antipolo. And the Titan Ultra have completely taken over this game dito sa third quarter. Nakaka-35 points na sila, Coach RG, dito sa third quarter, led by the 16 na galing sa kanilang import na si Michael Gilmore.
Napakaganda talaga nitong performance si Gilmore. Nag-adjust siya pati yung kanyang shot selection up there. He's shooting at a very high accuracy. Not only is he shooting inside, here in the third quarter, he owned the Rainbow Country. So his total number of points right now, meron ng napakaraming puntos nitong si Gilmore. Remember, 28 na ito. In their last game against Phoenix, ano yan, 27 points. But he took 28 attempts. Doon sa kanilang game dati, yung unang-unang laban nila, 33 attempts yan against Terra Firma. But what you like to see is the manpower complement, specifically the local crew of Coach Renzi Bahar really heeding the call and answering positively. Even Contapay held scoreless in the first 2 quarters, pero rito meron ng kabuoang 4 na puntos.
And it's also, Coach, the attitude na dinala na itong Giant Risers into this game. Having lost their first game by 30 to Terra Firma, 33 yung talo nila to Phoenix. And again, yung dalawang yun, Phoenix and Terra Firma, 2 of the bottom 3 teams ng Philippine Cup. It was so easy for Titan Ultra to enter this game and say, sige, GG na to, next game na lang tayo di ba? But they came in believing na kaya nilang makipagsabayan dito sa San Miguel, and look at the score now.
Alam mo, I've seen a lot of basketball games here in the PBA. It's very difficult to win one game in a conference. Let alone, of course, when you're up against a perennial champion like San Miguel. Pero ano yan yung next play mentality, yun talaga yung pinapamalas itong Titan Ultra. Although San Miguel, we know that they have bounced back genes in their system. It's not done yet. They're only down by 17. Make it another 19-point advantage for Titan Ultra. So nakakasagot itong mga manlalaro ng Titan Ultra sa bawat atake ng San Miguel.
Well, imagine, Trollano's looking for a foul there. Non-whistle, Balanza, gustong umatake, has Blondial to beat. And that's now 41 points for Titan Ultra sa third quarter. When you go back to their game against Phoenix, they scored 76 in the entire game.
Unbelievable third quarter here for Titan Ultra. Grabe, no? 82 lang ang conference high nito on offense. nitong Titan Ultra. And they know exactly what to do against San Miguel. Mukhang ang feeling nila, nagbabaksyon pa itong San Miguel na to. Di ba? Dahil yung mga manlalaro nila after winning the championship, yung iba nagbakasyon abroad and also domestic travel. Kaya ngayon, wala pa yung legs, wala pa yung kanilang timing. At ito nga si Perez, naka-recover lang to ng third quarter. But his team is still down by a huge margin. They still have to overhaul a 19-point lead. Coach Renzi Bahar coaching his best basketball game so far in his young head coaching career.
Pero sabi nga nila di ba? And I've heard this from you too before. Yung mga powerhouse like San Miguel, gusto mo yung makatapat ng maaga habang hindi pa masyado nag-iinit.
Nag-a-adjust pa sila, di ba? Alam natin yun, even the locals. Tapos yung import nila, nagkakapaan pa sila. Alam mo, may tendency itong mga players na ito na mag-size up ng kanilang import. Oh, good stop there.
Tautua got the stop. But still, Titan Ultra did enough para makabuo nitong 18-point lead na dadali nila into the fourth quarter. They scored 41 points in the third period. They're comfortably ahead at the end of the third.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang last.
Pa-December na may perya na. Pero kahit ngayon, enjoy pa rin. At nag-e-enjoy talaga dito itong Titan Ultra because they entered this game with a 0-2 record. Pero first quarter pa lang, lalo na nung nagtapos yung first, they had a 16-2 run that put them up by 10 at the end of 1. And since then, they haven't really looked back. Michael Gilmore, ang nakakatapat niya dito si Junmar Fajardo, the 9-time PBA MVP. But Titan Ultra's import has held his ground. And after Gilmore, after Munzon, kanina nabanggit namin ni Coach Archie, naghahanap Titan Ultra. Sino pa bang kaya mag-ambag dito in terms of scoring? Kate Flores has heeded that call. Pinakitaan pa nga si Coach Archie ng 2 taktak. Talagang mapapabilib ka doon sa energy ni Kate.
9 na puntos na iambag ni Kate Flores. But pinaka-importanting aspeto talaga rito sa Titan, yung third quarter run nila. 41 big points. While San Miguel was only good for 26. 26 in a 12-minute game is not bad. But where's the defense? Look at San Miguel also having all sorts of problems to start this game. Allowing Titan Ultra to score 28 while only scoring 18. Ito yung mga pagkakataon na hahanapin mo si Chris Ross. Because Chris Ross for the longest time is their anchor on defense.
And pati yung Jericho Cruz, diba? Those are two guys who can inject energy off the bench kapag wala masyado nangyayari on the court.
Energy and a lot of pride. Diba?
Absolutely.
Yung dalawang manlalaro yun, hindi nagpapatalo yun.
Teng! All alone. Munting ang bang hindi maibigay ni Rosales.
Now goal setting for San Miguel. They're still down by 16. Their focus should be in the at the half-minute mark here of the fourth quarter. Dapat mga down na lang sila by 10-12. But this is not going to be a welcome development for their team. Itong si Gilmore was called for offensive foul. His 5th personal foul, and the decision-making time here for Coach Renzi. Napakahaba pa ng laro. Isusugal pa niya yung 5 fouls ng kanyang import.
That's probably one of the worst ways to pick up your 5th foul. He was trying to set the screen. Gets mo naman di ba? Gustong malibre yung kakampi, but did a little bit too much. He's got to be careful with those swipes. Makukuha ni Tautua, and Mo will go hard. Foul ang matatawagan si Omega. And 2 free throws yan para kay Big Mo.
Almost a turnover. Lady Luck smiling that time for San Miguel. It was not really a clean execution, pero na-foul itong si Moto Tua. So you have this sense that Coach Leo Austria is so comfortable playing with an all-Filipino unit dahil nga wala masyadong naiambag yung kanilang import na meron lamang kabuuang 4 na puntos sa 4 na tira. 1 out of 4 from the field for their reinforcement.
Kung ikaw si Marcus Lee, medyo kinakabahan ka na for your possible next stint or next games. Ella, anong balita?
Jet and Coach RG during the timeout huddle of SMB, Mo Tautua was very vocal in leading his team and asking everyone to get some stops. Coach Leo naman instructed Jeron Tang to get the import and he instructed the entire team to move around. Balik muna sa inyo.
Thank you so much, Ella. Well, itong San Miguel, down by 15 right now. We've seen them come back from bigger deficits, Coach, with much less time left. So hindi to imposible. But if you're Titan Ultra, you just wanna keep attacking and continue kung ano yung nabuo mo in that third quarter.
For San Miguel, being an experienced team, their eyes should light up. Dahil all-Filipino itong Titan Ultra and they are the defending champions of Philippine Cup. So this is where they should make a huge, kumbaga, dent pagdating dun sa kanilang mindset of chipping away this huge advantage by Titan Ultra.
Monzon, initya na lang.
Shot, oh. Yan. Dito ka, matatakot ka rito sa San Miguel, ha? Ang goal natin dito, mga 6 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dapat down na lang sila ng mga 10 to 12 points. But don't look now. With still over 10 minutes, the lead is just down to 13.
Pinapahirapan pa ni Rosales, si Melesio did a little bit too much. Ito yung kayang gawin ni Mo. Yung sinasabi natin, locals, more often than not, kaya niya iurong easily.
He will definitely seal deep at a huge disadvantage. Aris Junicio there, who is more comfortable guarding a perimeter player. But now, because of yung bang problema sa height nitong Titan Ultra, Junicio is actually playing the power forward position. So nakita ni Coach Renzi, medyo dehado tayo ron. Pasok na muna si Cade Flores, who actually played positively in the minutes given to him by his head coach.
So para sa mga nakaitim, the Titan Ultra, Gilmer's on the bench. They actually have a small unit right now. Flores, bigay kay Yu. Fran takes and makes the 3. How big has Fran Yu been in this game?
Oh, enormous. He's taking timely shots, making it, and also dishing off to his open teammates. And look at Titan Ultra running once again. You don't want this kind of a situation. Dahil nga, bad execution on one end for San Miguel. Now, if Titan steps on the gas, there is just no way makakahabol itong mga nakaputi.
Kanina nagsiset up ng mga kakampi. Ngayon, nakakita ng buwang. He takes and makes a 3-point shot na hatid sa atin ng Arena Plus Sportsbook.
Tapos pagdating dito sa fast break game nitong Titan Ultra, nakakahanap ng paraan itong si Monzon. Hindi nga lang siya nakahanap ng paraan makashoot ng kanyang first free throw. Pero importante rito yung bang habang nagpapahinga yung kanilang import, we're talking about Gilmore. Dahil meron ng 5 fouls, hindi dapat dumidikit itong San Miguel.
Yun nga lang, no?
Diba?
0 for 2. Well, the rookie in Mark Denver Omega will understand very, very soon, if he hasn't yet, kung gaano kahirap pigilan itong 9-time MVP ng PBA.
He's doing early work. He wants to create that first hit on Junmar Fajardo, but that will be the 4th team foul for Titan Ultra.
Tautua. Wow, the footwork of Big Mo.
Oh, what was that pass? I mean, passing to nowhere. No reason for Fran Yu to give that outlet pass. No way for also Cade Flores to catch that leather.
San Miguel, ramdam mo nabubuhayan sila ngayon. Something that you don't want to see if you're Titan Ultra. There's the screen, 2-man game between Perez and Fajardo. Teng gets involved, Jeron hits the 3! 11-point game!
Make no mistake about this, these 5 guys playing for San Miguel are so used to playing with one another. So there is natural chemistry.
Monzon, slicing through, wala. Omega na pigilan. And San Miguel gets the stop again. Perez zigzagging. CJ finishes through the foul.
Masyadong mabilis yung pagbabalik nitong San Miguel. Ito na sila. And look at this attack by Perez. Yung si Junmar pala yung naka-block. Ilang block na yun that precipitated that opportunity for Perez to score and a possible 3-point play.
Kung gaano kabilis yung pag-arangkada ng Titan Ultra in the third quarter, ganun din is San Miguel here in the fourth.
You have an inkling na itong mga San Miguel players parang mag-ball din at sasabihin, game na! Eto na!
Guys, 2 bigs. Nandito. Hanapin natin kung sa may advantage. Okay, Kilbit, okay? Now, hindi ito makaka-help. Hindi pumawagsak, okay? Tingnan nyo ito, ha? Pwede ma-open, magbigit up, pwede gano'n, okay? Take your time, take your time. If there's no double. Guys, if there's a double, Shio, pakita kayo para ma-release and then repose, okay? It's either Quintin Mar or Mo. And Mo, don't get out. He has the ball, you have to stay on the other side. Okay, then spring back.
The San Miguel Beermen, a very proud franchise, the only franchise actually na nagsimula ng PBA back in 1975 at narito pa rin. They were crowned the Philippine Cup champions back in season 49. Huling komperensya ng season 49. Ang season 50 nagsimula with the Philippine Cup at nagkampiyon na naman itong San Miguel. So they won the last 2 conferences of the PBA. They're looking to win a 3rd straight. And their comeback could not have been faster and louder here in the 4th quarter. Perez again!
And this is the San Miguel that we know. Playing tough defense, scoring, giving that ball to CJ Perez, and CJ Perez knows what he must do in order for his team to fight back. 15-3 here in the 4th quarter in favor of SMB.
15 points. Oh, Monzon! A miraculous shot! Si Teng ang matatawagan ng foul, and that's a 3-point shot. Posible pang maging 4-point play.
And obviously what the doctor ordered here for Titan Ultra, creating that contact, heard the whistle, went for his shot, called the back answered, and now a chance for a 4-point play.
Buti na lang, Sabado pala. Pag Linggo, sarado talaga.
I know! Ayun, napaka-importanting puntos yun. 4 na puntos na yan ba doon sa possession na yun to increase also his individual output to 22 points.
And it was a big run for SMB na kahit papano napigilan nung big play na yun ni Monzon. But look at that! Monzon will be called for a foul. They have one more challenge.
Always not a good sight to see, and we hope that he is okay.
Rosales shaking up a bit. Makapit to sa kanyang kanang balikat.
It is going to be challenged once again. They won their first challenge earlier. That's why they have another one.
You saw the face of Monzon. Sobrang convinced niya that he got all ball.
Yeah, but he was gesturing na parang may tumama na siko. So kung yung sikong yung tumama sa any part of the body of Rosales, foul pa rin.
Totoo yan.
Tignan natin. Again,
Pero,
yung mga anggulo na meron itong ating mga referees.
Tsaka minsan if you're the player, minsan di mo rin nare-realize in real time na tinamaan mo pala eh.
Oo.
Yung mga ganyan, tiwala na lang talaga. It's a relationship between the player and the coach. And of course, game situation mo kailan gagamit ng challenge.
Lalong-lalo na ang humingi ng challenge yung best local player mo. Kailangan pagbigyan mo. So the message that Coach Renzi Bahar is trying to send is, I believe in you, I trust in you. All right, you want that challenge, I'm gonna give it to you.
We're almost set to hear kung anong hatol after the review.
After the review, there's an hacking foul on Joso Monzon against Chris Rosales. That's why the challenge of Titan Ultra is not successful.
So not successful. Win or lose, that dun sa challenge na yun, last na yun ng Titan Ultra. Ano mangyayari na yun? Magkakaroon ng 2 free throws si Rosales.
I thought that was a foul. Obvious one at that. Kitang-kita natin yun. Samantala, nagbintis ng unang free throw. Medyo ininda niya yung right arm niya. Baka hindi pa nakakalibrate ng mabuti ni Rosales ito. Ano ba, inaabang ko kanina na foul on by Joshua Monzon on Jericho Rosales.
We've heard some interesting announcements dyan sa mga review. Pero tulad ng sabi mo, referees are getting more comfortable.
Yes.
Siguro yung next step that personally I do wanna hear is a better explanation kung ano yung nakita nila. Diba? Parang, okay, it's a hacking foul, but siguro a little bit more of a breakdown would allow yung mga viewers natin na mas maintindihan kung ano yung nakita ng referee sa perspective nila.
That's correct. I agree with you on that one. Because referees are not just supposed to call infractions, they're also supposed to be educators inside the basketball court.
That's true.
So probably another line that says the arm of Monzon hit the arm of Rosales. But speaking of just going for an easy layup without hitting anybody's arm, that was Moto Tua for another easy basket.
7 minutes remaining in regulation, 7-point game. Flores magbibigay ng pick. Teng hinahabol. Avillonar, one-hander is good.
Another timely basket for as long as they can score. That is going to be important for them. Well, their import is still on the bench. But in the next dead ball, papasok na yung kanilang import.
How to what? Hindi talaga siya mapigilan ng Titan Ultra sa ilalim. Oh, the brilliant ball movement of Titan Ultra still keeping them ahead.
Sticking to the game plan. Pass that ball must remain. They have to push it, but they have no answer against CJ Perez. CJ Perez has really gone wild here in the second half. You look at the scoring of CJ Perez every quarter. First quarter, 0. Second quarter, 0. Third quarter, 13. Now with a total of 20. Ganon ka-explosive itong si CJ Perez. Ganon pa rin. Nahinto mo na ng 2 quarters eh.
And he was responsible for firing SMB up dito sa comeback nila. Hindi lang pumasok yung free throw na yon nang hinahin si CJ.
But well within striking distance, partner. Diba, sabi natin 6-minute mark, they should be down by only 10 points and they'll be within reach. But now, 7 na lang ang hinahabol ng San Miguel.
And all they really said was, hold my beer.
But for Coach Renzi Bahar is not taking anything to chance. Pinasok rin na yung kanyang import na si Gilmore na merong 5 personal fouls na. Kaya niya pinagpahinga ng mahaba.
Monzon again draws another foul on Teng. At wala nang challenge ang San Miguel. Anong first half pa? It's always a difficult call for referees in a controversial one kapag may pito. Kasi sino ba nag-initiate ng contact, stuff like that. Daming pag-uusapan eh.
And that is how important a challenge is. You don't want to use your challenge kung 50-50 ka, especially in the early part of the game. Dahil nga sa mga ganitong sitwasyon, I understand where Jeron Teng is coming from. Alright? So it was, in his eyes, it was really Monzon who initiated that contact. But based on that slow-mo, yung simulated the shooting cylinder of Joshua Monzon. That is why he was guilty for that foul. So, yun talaga ang mangyayari. Pero since wala nang challenge itong San Miguel, hindi na nila makontest yung tawag na yun.
Well, 2 of 3 si Monzon on that trip. We're a little bit past the halfway point of the fourth quarter. Una pa lang to, anong double header natin dito sa Antipolo on a Saturday. That's a foul na Villonar.
Not a good foul to make because itong si Jeron Teng was in the trouble in the deep corner, and to make things worse, penalty situation na itong Titan Ultra. So itong si Jeron Teng will try his luck from the free throw line, and he misses the first one.
Sayang yan, yung mga mintis nila sa line. There's been a few of them.
Actually, medyo marami na eh. They went to the line 26 times already, knocking down only 15. So 11 missed free throws. Now make it 12 missed free throws. You're down by just 9 points. So iindahin mo yan. Masakit yan.
Tapos hindi ka pa makakapigil dun sa kabila. How many times has Fran Yu set up his teammate in the wild like that? Binigyan niya na naman ang 11-point lead. Itong Titan Ultra with 5.5 to go in the fourth.
And 2 and 3. 1. Hey. Pass the ball. UCLA. Then for Jumar. Here. Then screen. Okay. Dog, if you're here. Okay. Okay. Pass dito. Okay. Pass the ball. Carl. Jumar. Okay. Here. That's right. Adonis here. Hand off muna, hand off. Don't bring the ball in. Pass it back. Okay. And then screen ball, okay. And then go dito, okay. Ikaw, yan po kay babalik mo sa kanya, and then UCLA cup.
Let's take a look at the standings now and see where etong Titan Ultra lies. 0-2. San Miguel, unang laro nila to.
Tama yan. Samantala yung kupunan ng Terra Firma Jeep 309 kanilang kartada. Susunod dyan yung Phoenix Super LPG Fuel Masters with 2-0, and they go up against Meralco with 1-0 so far. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup in our second game. So kailangan panoorin ninyo. Napakagandang mga laban natin dito sa PBA.
Ang ganda kasi maraming mga surprising starts eh.
Oh yes.
Here in this conference, isa na nga itong lamang ngayon ng Titan Ultra sa San Miguel. Dadagdagan pa yan ni Munzon.
An exceptional speed being played by Titan Ultra. I double-checked whether they're wearing their running shoes. Napakabilis ng kanilang speed. Pero yun na nga, CJ Perez again answering, hitting the bottom of the net to cut the lead of Titan Ultra to just 10 with a shade under 5 minutes remaining here in this ballgame.
Si Munzon, hindi mapigilan. Si CJ Perez, hindi rin mapigilan. They are putting on a show here in the fourth. Gilmore tries to join that. Unsuccessful din sa tira niya ngayon. Perez asking for a pick. They go inside to Tautua. Hindi umabot yung dakdak niya. Rosales to Perez looking for 4. CJ knocks it down.
And it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Not Joey Boy, don't see Tautua. Pero they were able to get the possession back, and CJ Perez, again unconscious here in the second half, exploding for 27 points here in this game.
Gilmore gusto sumagot. Tres ang hahanapin niya. No go. Fajardo to Perez. San Miguel on the move. CJ. Initya na lang, but Junmar is there, knocking on the first try. Fajardo puts it right back in. And it's a one-possession game.
And only took in resistance dun sa important Titan Ultra. He already has 5 fouls. So when he was up against Junmar Fajardo, he had no choice but just to look and play less defense.
It was the skill of Junmar at yung big pagkaintindi niya sa sitwasyon nung laro with his matchup having 5 fouls. But what about CJ Perez?
Oh, humongous performance, especially that 4-point shot in this. He probably saw that Junmar Fajardo was underneath the rim, and Junmar, when he gets in that position, he doesn't show panic. It's automatic for the big man.
Apat ang lamang ng Titan. San Miguel has climbed back to being down by 21 points. If nagugulat po kayo dun sa narinig ninyo, we mean that. It's not a mispronunciation. Lumamang ang Titan Ultra ng 21 points. Now let's take a look back at some of the most historical performances we've seen in the PBA. Most points in a quarter was Alan Kaidek's 37 points built on 9 threes. Alam naman natin si The Triggerman kung anong kaya niya. Pero si CJ Perez in the finals, Game 6, actually that was a championship clinching game. CJ waxed hot from the start.
He did not miss in the first quarter. Look at that, 12 out of 12 from the field, 30 humongous points. And what about his performance in this game? Scoreless in the first two, but now 27 na si CJ Perez.
Kung kaya nga mag-30 sa isang quarter, kaya mag-27 in one half.
Tama, huwag na kayo magulat. Important possession here for Titan Ultra, the badly need a basket.
Oh, what a pass! What passing! Tauturo with the block! Flores with the miss! Villar with the putback! Biglang tumigil yung San Miguel.
And that is why you don't want the ball watch. I mean, it was such a splendid job on the block by Tautua, pero huminto sila, nakashoot tuloy siya Villar.
Look at Gilmore now. Playing up front. And ganda ng read coach ng San Miguel.
And this is what we saw during our halftime huddle, that ball screen and rolling to the basket is Junmar Fajardo. He's just too tall and too skillful against smaller defenders. Again, easy basket for Junmar.
Monzon. A turnover as he tried to leave it to Villar.
Such an entertaining ball game. You just don't count out San Miguel. Champions just don't give up easily. And we're seeing it with the performance of CJ Perez and the rest of the gang. And mind you, partner, they're playing for much of the time here in the second half with an all-Filipino complement.
Rosales. Perez gusto ibigay kay Fajardo. 2 to shoot. Trollano has to put it up. And that is tremendous defense para sa Titan Ultra.
They needed that stop just to maintain a certain separation and don't allow San Miguel to inch in.
The owner of Titan Ultra watching on. Here's you. Fran could not bank it in. Perez. Gilmore trying to avoid picking up a 6th foul. Trollano. Nothing on that attempt. At sasabihin niya ng Titan, let's relax and waste away some time. San Miguel wanted to go for the home run. It wasn't exactly there for them. Monzon. Falling away, Joshua. No, Flores puts it right back in.
What we're seeing is just a hard-working crew. They just don't give up on the play. They're fighting for loose balls. They're getting a lot of offensive rebounds. They're scoring on putbacks. Look at that, out of nowhere. Just being at the right place and at the right time. Flores once again scoring an easy twinner.
Kailangan din natin mabanggit that San Miguel has played the second half all Filipino after not getting much mula sa kanilang import na si Marcus Lee. And they actually made their comeback while Lee was sitting on the bench.
That's correct, but they're still down by 6 points.
Let's try to see if we can listen in on the huddle of Coach Leo.
Okay? Kung meron, pwede bigay. Okay? Okay? Bigay, okay? A good screen. Junmar man, mag-help. Don, give me my screen. Junmar, pwede alley-oop. Okay? Not available, you shot. Don, open down. Upper Don, pwede rito si Don. Okay? dito ka. Okay, at walang tira dito. Screen dito, okay? Screen para lumabas ka, okay? So, ulitin ko, okay? Okay, CJ. Ito yung area, di ba? Hayaan mo dito. Para may screen dito. Pwede lang.
Well, we're not seeing much of the board of Coach Leo, no? Pero one thing we know, ang San Miguel hindi yan nauubusan ng mga bala. Lalo na with unlimited talents that they have at their disposal. But again, Coach, we talk about the impact of Kate Flores dito sa larong to.
13 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals all across the board. Huge contributor for Titan Ultra, especially if you consider his first 2 games when he only scored 2 and 6. So a tremendous upgrade for Kate Flores in this game.
Ang San Miguel, di naman kailangan magmadali. There's still lots of time. Perez almost losing it. Eventually loses it. Monzon will finish again.
Oh, great defense by Fran Yu, forcing that turnover, and he was not done yet. He was the one who issued again a timely assist pass to his streaking teammate.
Trollano for 4. Don hits it. There's life for the Beermen.
Oh yes, only down by 1 possession, almost another turnover. That 4-point shot really can keep you alive if you knock it down.
You remember what CJ Perez did in the finals?
Oh yes.
Step back 4-pointer. Ito si Monzon. Javillonar providing the pick. Joshua fouled on his way to the basket.
Less than a second left, and CJ Perez fouled Joshua Monzon. You know, it will really help you if you can really attack strongly. But first, the steal out of nowhere. Itong si Franyu using his quickness and also his unselfishness. Gandang teamwork na pinapakita talaga nitong Titan Ultra na to. Pero napakalaki naman ang kasagutan doon ni Don Trollano. His first 4-pointer in the game to cut the lead down to just 4 points. Precious moments here for Joshua Monzon just to give them a 2-possession advantage. But he misses the first one.
The last time, Coach, remember, nag-0 for 2. Itong si Joshua. One make will make this a 2-possession game. He gets the second. 29-point outing for Monzon. And this game is far from over. But I really want to talk about Franyu as well. Yung nagawa nga ni Franyu. He has 10 assists, a couple of steals, at yung timing, Coach, ng mga plays na ginawa niya para sa Titan Ultra.
Tama yan. There was a timely 3-pointer that he was able to make here in the second half. Also the steals. He has a total of 2 steals. You mentioned the 10 assists. But good thing, itong si CJ Perez came alive in the second half. We've been mentioning it. Was not able to score in the first quarter. Also 0 in the second quarter. But a massive detonation happened in the second half. 13 in the third and 14 in the fourth for a total of 27. But he was also the one who turned the ball over in their previous offensive play. But what do you need right now? Do you need a 4-pointer? Of course, if it is available, why not? They have guys like Trollano and also CJ Perez, and even probably a Marshall Lassiter who can shoot from deep, even well beyond that 4-point area. But they need to make a basket wherever it comes from, either 2, 3, or even a 4, as I mentioned.
Yeah, alam mo, ito nga San Miguel, the last team to play here in this Commissioner's Cup. Pero kita mo kung gaano kasunod-sunod yung mga laro nila. They'll be back on the court on Friday, on Wednesday, I should say, March 25. Tapos 28 and then 31. They're gonna be very busy.
And I want to know exactly the verdict on their import because hindi na talaga nila ginamit yung kanilang import majority of the time here in this game, especially in the second half.
And I'm also open to hearing kung meron pang iniinda, baka naman nasaktan, di ba? But yan ang masakit talaga sa San Miguel. They turn the ball over.
Oh, yes.
Trollano forced to foul.
Oh, they're just clumsy right now. I mean, they just don't have the legs to keep them in balance to attack. Dahil nga, nakailang laro na itong Titan Ultra. Nakakuha nila na sila ng maski paano yung kanilang match fitness. While for San Miguel, I have not seen them play this kind of a lackluster performance wherein 20 turnovers sila, tapos they could not make stops. And the third quarter was a very telling blow for them. They allowed Titan Ultra to score 41 big points. Napakadaming puntos yun para sa isang kupunan.
Yun yung pinakamabigat, di ba? For them to allow their opponents to 41. Usually kasi San Miguel yung bubuga ng ganong kalaking quarter.
At saka yung bang alam mo na hindi naman capable itong kanilang kalaban to score in the century mark dahil nga, di ba, 76 and 82. But they just came in prepared. Kudos to Coach Renzi Bahar and the rest of the coaching staff. They did their assignment. They were able to take advantage. Yung kanilang quickest advantage against San Miguel. And as a result, they were rewarded with an enormous victory. 119-112 win by Titan Ultra against San Miguel.
After losing to Terra Firma by 30 points, tapos natalo sa Phoenix ng 33, panalo nga dito ang Titan Ultra over SMB, and the guy who led them in taking this win, Joshua Munzon, a bounce-back game after only scoring 9 against Phoenix.
I think the first thing is he has to embrace the reality that this is really his team, and true enough, he was just going with a level of performance wherein he was just simply unstoppable. 29 big points, a lot of steals, timely incursions, and also big hits from Rainbow Country.
Joshua Munzon took over not just sa opensa pero yung depensa niya rin with 4 steals. Titan Ultra gets their first win of the conference, 119-112.
Welcome back to the 50th season of the PBA. We are joined by the best player of the game, Joshua Munzon. Josh, 29 points, 5 assists, 4 steals. Talk about your performance for this game and also your team. This is the first win of your team this conference. What is it about today's game that got you this win?
I mean, it was just those losses that we had. We know we had some pretty bad losses those first 2 games. We wanted to bounce back and show that, we can compete and, that we can play in this league. So, just getting this win and bouncing back, that was big for us. So, happy to get that win for sure.
If you have a message to the PBA fans and, of course, to your team that you want to give a shout-out to?
Yeah, I just want to wish my girlfriend, Alasia, a happy birthday. My family back home, my mom, my grandpa, my brothers, and the fans. Thank you guys for coming out to support us. And, we're happy to get that win, for sure.
Congratulations to you and to Titan. At this point, let's turn it over to the press conference room.
Welcome to our post-game press conference. Kasama natin si Coach Renzi Bahar, his first win as a PBA head coach. Coach, congratulations. And ano lang yung thoughts mo dun sa game? You scored 41 points in the third. Ano ba yung nangyari dun? Anong masabi mo dun?
Yes, no. Before anything else, I want to thank the Lord for giving my first win in the PBA. Then yun pa against my former coach, Coach Leo Austria, no. So now siguro yung yung motivation lang namin, number one is going to this game is we out outplayed for the last 2 games. Kumbaga, blowout losses against Terra Firma and against Phoenix. Yun lang, yung challenge lang namin siguro, especially sa akin, challenge ko sa mga players is yung have some pride on their, number one, on their jobs, on this team, because this Titan team can beat anybody. So, ang game plan lang namin since San Miguel is coming from a championship conference last conference, siguro medyo nasa cloud 9 pa sila, no? Saka at the same time, medyo kumbaga baka hindi pa nila kami sineryoso. So yun nga, tinake advantage lang namin yung opportunity that San Miguel give us. So then eventually our player response, especially our best player si Josh Monson, that's our leader. So yun lang naman. Kaya we want to win talaga on this game. So binigyan kami ng opportunity to win. So we just grab the opportunity.
Let's take you back through the highlights and the story of this game between the Titan Ultra Giant Risers and the San Miguel Beermen. Marcus Lee, maaga nagparamdam. This is San Miguel's debut this conference at unang laro din ni Marcus Lee, the PBA.
Okay naman yung kanyang panimulang tira, slam dunk agad. Samantala, ito namang Titan Ultra, just a lot of big-time players showing up in this game. Kate Flores was there, making shots from 3, dunking, and also Melesio came off the bench to issue not only shots from the outside, but also fantastic assist passes.
That's right. A 16-2 run towards the end of the first quarter gave Titan Ultra a 10-point lead after the first 12 minutes. Tapos ito si Joshua Monzon was part of a blistering second quarter for Titan. Pero actually, San Miguel eventually nag-control ng quarter na to.
31 big points for San Miguel. Of course, thanks to the exploits of Don Troliano, came off the bench and doing extraordinary things for him, but normal things as far as he is concerned. But a lot of turnovers here for San Miguel, which resulted to easy baskets on the other side. And this guy is a high flyer. Kate Flores had 2 slam dunks in this game.
Grabe, high flyer na ngayon ang tawag mo kay Kate Flores, ha?
I didn't realize he could do it.
But yes, I mean, etong San Miguel, they got Junmar Fajardo activated, pati si Don Troliano, those two combined for 19 second quarter points. And San Miguel was ahead at the half, taking it was Titan Ultra ahead, 52-49 at the half. In the third quarter, that would change because lalayo na itong Giant Risers behind 16 points from Michael Gilmore in the third alone.
It turned out to be a bye-bye quarter here for Titan Ultra, basically saying, San Miguel, you cannot keep in step with our quickness, you cannot guard us in our half-court game. And look at this, Gilmore also making a living, finishing fast break attacks. 41 big points, I'll say it again. 41 for Titan Ultra in the third quarter, while only allowing San Miguel 26.
That's right. And sabi nga namin sa inyo, si Gilmore ang nanguna dyan with 16. Para naman sa San Miguel, well, they really tried to keep in step. Pero yun nga ang init ni Gilmore. He was getting dunks, he was getting 3-pointers. Wala pa nga dyan yung mga defensive stops that he made. And towards the end of it, medyo nag-ingay na rin itong San Miguel, courtesy of Troliano, who kept their fighting spirit up nung lumalayo itong Titan Ultra. But he could only bring them to within 18 points. Tuloy-tuloy na kaya yun for Titan Ultra. San Miguel, in the early goings of the fourth quarter, said, no, eto na kami. CJ Perez finally woke up.
He was definitely unleashed, especially in the second half. We're talking about CJ Perez, who eventually ended the game with 27 points after being held scoreless in the first 2. You look at San Miguel trying to fight back. Yes, they were in there, but the effort, the tenacity of guys like Kate Flores was enough to keep that separation at a manageable distance for Titan Ultra.
Nung dulo, it was still the turnovers of San Miguel na nakasakit sa kanila. And Fran Yu, we have to mention him and how he was incredible with 9 points, 10 assists, and 2 steals. Troliano, tuloy pa rin. I mean, again, whenever lumalayo yung Titan Ultra, siya yung naglalapit ng konti, but turnovers really hurt San Miguel.
20 total turnovers for San Miguel, 29 points allowed via the fast break variety, and fantastic finishing kick displayed here by Titan Ultra. just a far cry from their performance in their first 2 games, where they could only muster an average of close to 80 points per ball game. But in this game against San Miguel, yes, they allowed San Miguel 112, but they scored 119. So at the end of 48, victorious was the Titan Ultra team.
29 points mula kay Joshua Monzon, 28 mula kay Michael Gilmore, at may 13 pa kay Kate Flores. Titan Ultra wins their first game of their Commissioner's Cup. They take their first win 119-112 over San Miguel. Yan na muna po ang handog namin for the first game offering of your Saturday doubleheader mula dito sa Inares Center in Antipolo. For our entire team, production and technical teams, for Coach Ryan Gregorio and for Ella Gomez, my name is John Sulit. Thanking you for watching the PBA dito lang sa RPTV.